Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lockbeard Random Live number 54 Emergency Declaration. um, it is February 14th, 2022, Valentine's Day. So they tell me. Um, welcome, Ruthless. Brian and Chewy, welcome. Papa Craig, welcome, and bam. Kind and rational, huh? I try to be. Chrissy, welcome. I don't somehow missed that comment, I think. Lost, but okay, boom. uh, I don't know what that's about. Ruthless started it. Thank you. Thank you. Sandra Piper, welcome. I know a lot of you guys are from the paranormal end of things. This is, politics and liberty stuff, but you're probably interested in that as well, hopefully. I haven't heard Trudeau's speech, so we'll be listening to it together, slightly sped up. Geez, don't blame me. Well, okay. Trudeau is basically, he wants emergency powers. He wants to treat his people like they are enemies instead of just peaceful protesters. He wants to invoke the Emergencies Act. Anyway, I don't know if he's still talking, but so we'll be doing a little bit of catch up and see what the hell this ass munch has to say.
But let's begin with the situation here in Canada, of course.
Illegal blockades that have been disrupting the lives of too many Canadians. Here in our capital city, families and small businesses have been enduring illegal obstruction of their neighborhoods, occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is not a peaceful protest. At the borders in different parts of the country, the blockades are harming our economy and endangering public safety. Critical supply chains have been disrupted. This is hurting workers who rely on these jobs to feed their families. Yesterday, the Ambassador Bridge was reopened between Windsor and Detroit. Our team and I have been working with Ontario and the City of Windsor around the clock. I want to thank the officers on the ground, including the RCMP, who played an active role. We now have a responsibility to make sure that the bridge stays open. With each illegal blockade, local law enforcement agencies have been acting to keep the peace within their jurisdiction. Despite their best efforts, it is now clear that there are serious challenges to law enforcement's ability to effectively enforce the law. On Friday, Ontario invoked a state of emergency to respond to the blockades. This was the responsible and necessary thing to do. Today, to continue building on these efforts, the federal government is ready to use more tools at its disposal to get the situation fully under control. After discussing with Cabinet and caucus, after consultation with premiers from all provinces and territories, after speaking with opposition leaders, the federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement provincial and territorial capacity to address the blockades and occupations. I want to be very clear. The scope of these measures will be time-limited, geographically targeted, as well as reasonable and proportionate to the threats they are meant to address. The Emergencies Act will be used to strengthen and support law enforcement agencies at all levels across the country. This is about keeping Canadians safe, protecting people's jobs, and restoring confidence in our institutions. Here's how the measures we're taking today will help get the situation under control. The police will be given more tools to restore order in places where public assemblies can constitute illegal and dangerous activities, such as blockades and occupations, as seen in Ottawa, the Ambassador Bridge, and elsewhere. These tools include strengthening their ability to impose fines or imprisonment. The government will designate, secure, and protect places and infrastructure that are critical to our economy and people's jobs, including border crossings and airports. We cannot and will not allow illegal and dangerous activities to continue. The Emergencies Act will also allow the government to make sure essential services are rendered, for example, in order to tow vehicles blocking roads. In addition, financial institutions will be authorized or directed to render essential services to help address the situation, including by regulating and prohibiting the use of property to fund or support illegal blockades. And finally, will enable the RCMP to enforce municipal bylaws and provincial offenses where required. This is what the Emergencies Act does. Let me be equally clear about what it does not do. We're not using the Emergencies Act to call in the military. We're not suspending fundamental rights or overriding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We are not limiting people's freedom of speech. We are not limiting freedom of peaceful assembly. We are not preventing people from exercising their right to protest legally. We are reinforcing the principles, values, and institutions that keep all Canadians free. Après des discussions avec le Conseil des ministres et le caucus,
With Cabinet and Caucus, after consulting the premiers of all provinces,
Anyone buying that shit? He described some limitations of people's freedoms, and then he immediately turns around and says, "Oh, we're not doing that. We're not limiting." Yeah, well, there's no blockade. There is no. This asshole is lying. Not a word. He's demonizing these people who are just protesting, and they're not. There's not blockade. If any of you have been watching people that are on the ground live streaming who are right there in the middle of it and showing us, they're not. It's not a blockade. There's trucks everywhere. Yes, there's people running around. The businesses are open. There's food. I mean, it's about halfway a party, but they're not destroying the city. The only destruction that's happening is criminals coming in there and slashing people's tires and shit. Which someone made a really good point. It's like, you guys want us to leave, and yet you're cutting our tires. Well, we can't leave if we have flat tires. This guy is very. We're sliding down that slippery slope, right? He's demonizing people who are not they're not doing anything wrong. Adolf did something like that decades ago. He created World War II before it was over with. Oh, these people are horrible. We need to do something about them. We need to get rid of them. And then you see what happened. These people are horrible. We need to get rid of them. They're harming us somehow. No, they're just protesting. Someone said that the truckers are. There was a commenter in one of the live streams that said the truckers are infringing on other people's rights. What do you mean? How are they infringing on anybody's rights? Because they won't deliver products to the store? You want to force them to work, right? You want to turn them into a slave. You want to make them bring your shit to you. I mean, you have a funny idea of what of what infringing on someone's rights are. But these people we're talking about, these, typically it's the far leftist. They don't understand logic, let alone what proper freedom is. They're talking about we need to get these people back to work. Well, shit, a lot of the people that are complaining about this and calling these people white supremacists, they're calling them, they're saying shit like this about these people. We need to get them back to work. We need to get the truckers back working, right? Well, a lot of the people that are complaining about this have been living on a government check for 2 years. Maybe not the entire time, but they've been, because lots of employers I've talked to, they say, nope, these people don't want to work. A bunch of people do not want to work. Well, I wonder who the people are that are complaining about these truckers not working. Well, it's probably the same people who haven't been working themselves for a long time. They're, living on the government tit. So they can go to the store and buy shit if it was there. They're just irritated because the shit ain't there, maybe. I guess there are some shortages in some places, but where I'm at, there's no shortage at all. But we don't have a blockade yet. There were shortages at different points during this whole false epidemic, this engineered cluster. I mean, when the toilet paper disappeared from the shelves, which was absolutely ridiculous. I've commented before on that. Like, why are you people buying up all the toilet paper, but there's still plenty of food on the shelves? The food had been hit pretty hard, but there was still plenty of food on the shelves. Your first priority should be getting food in your mouth, not worrying about when it comes out. I mean, that whole situation could be just a comment on the gastrointestinal health of America. I have said that about the diet of people. The reason why you have such a disaster in a lot of cases is because of what you're eating. It's not natural food. It's not healthy. Your ass is not supposed to blow up all over the wall so that some poor guy cleaning the bathroom has to get out the pressure washer to fucking deal with it. So that whole toilet paper panic. I mean, that was that if people, like, a lot of people say, oh, there's not a panic. There is a goddamn panic. I mean, that toilet paper situation was should have clued you in. People panic bought up all the toilet paper. It didn't make any sense to do it, but they did. And the media damn sure fueled that. We're just blocking them. We're not limiting, to be clear. It's Insurrection Canada version. Yeah, they're trying to make this out to be something that it's absolutely not. I mean, the so-called insurrection here, like, oh, somebody broke some windows and shit. They walked into the building and looked around, and then Yahoo had time for a photo op to try and make these people look crazy. Nothing happened. I mean, there was I think there was one death in that. It was like someone got shot by the cop, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but I mean, it wasn't an insurrection. Insurrection, we would have a lot of politicians either in jail or ended. Papa Craig says the businesses around them were ordered to remain closed. Many didn't. Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to act like these people are stopping the businesses from operating, but they're not. Now, you got to ask, why did the government order them to remain closed? Maybe it was so that there wouldn't be things for these people to buy to live on, food and whatnot. They tried to take people's gas. It was negative 20 degrees up there. Trucker runs out of gas, he's in a serious situation. He can't stay warm, at least not very easily. They were trying to freeze people. That's damn near, you could almost argue that was attempted murder. But maybe that's being a little extreme. Ernie says, good evening. All the media makes all the lies real. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This next video I'm going to show you addresses the media. Papa Craig says, hi, Ernie. Everybody saying hi to Ernie. Chrissy says, I have 0 stylists and haven't been able to keep any post 2020 because they legit make more staying at home if they don't have a large clientele. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know where they lie politically, but you know, and the government knows it. See, people who are living off that government, you know, relief, you know, they don't they understand that money comes out of the pockets of the people who are actually working. Where do they think this money comes from? Now, some of it's created out thin air by the government. That's why our money is empty. It has no real value. The only reason it continues to be useful for purchasing things is because people believe it has value. You show them a dollar bill and they are confident that they'll be able to take that $1 bill and go give it to somebody else to purchase what they need. What happens when people lose confidence in the US dollar? It has nothing backing it up. The gold standard would not be perfect, but it would be, at least it'd be something. But there's probably not enough gold in the world to account for all the make-believe value in the US dollar. And what's worse is these people sitting at home getting that little check from the government. They actually think the government's doing them a favor in a lot of cases. I'm like, no, they're not. They've made you dependent. You're dependent on them. You're not self-sufficient. And you're here thinking, oh, the government's taking care of me, and then you want to defend the government. They know they're creating some percentage of those people want to defend the government now. And of course, if they're sitting home all day, what are they doing? They're probably watching a bunch of TV where they are continuing to get brainwashed to believe this bullshit. Chrissy says, my thing was, you never going to build a clientele not working. Yep. Papa says, our shortages are caused by Brandon and Brando. Yeah. And they broke, now losing everything. No doubt. They were mainly middle-aged people just touring. Ashley Babbitt was killed. But yeah, what she was doing was stupid, but they defended that killing. Yeah. With absolutely no remorse. Michael, welcome. What's up? Uncle Bone says, let's go, Branda. Christy says, many hairstylists are very, very left. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's something that's, when I was vetting locticians, right? You know, I had one rule. I do not wear a mask. I had a couple of them like go full on me. You can say you won't wear a mask, they immediately think you're a Trumper. I don't like Trump, but they don't care. I said I do not want to wear a mask, and they said, well, you know, get the fuck out of here. They didn't want to serve me. And I never did go through getting everything turned into locks, but you know, still, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So it appears that it's the same for a lot of locticians they're very, very left. I have located one for whom that was not a problem. So one of these days, hopefully, I get my beard back and get my dreadlocks. Mr. Michael was here just saying, yeah, I saw him. Howdy, Mr. Michael. Michael here anyway. Hello. 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 Lots of hellos. Papa says, oops, Chrissy, they listen to the left. Yeah. It's unfortunate. They don't know they're brainwashed. Uncle Bones are the chithers coming back tonight. Donald, welcome. What's up? We just listened to the douchebag on the screen. No, the other douchebag right there. Invoking the Emergencies Act in Canada. These peaceful protesters apparently a major threat to the Canadian people. Chris says, huge American flag on my front steps are painted black and black back to blue, extremely controversial. My place is definitely a mask-free zone. Yeah, man, people get all bent. Donald says, Michael, are you part of the Clunt show tonight? Yes, are you? Yeah, we're definitely not running late enough to run over that. I'm going to be heading over there to watch that myself. Hello, Mr. Hugh. Welcome. Uncle Bone says to Michael, only the bottoms, they are very thirsty. No idea. Oh, you'd probably know. I mean, well, probably if you show up, they'll say, hey, get on screen. Oh, no, not this again, says Sandra. Yeah, no. They're doing a whole show on it tonight, Sandra, over at Pine Island Research. Oh, looky what we have here. Another one of them bots. We'll hit the little hide here. And the little block right. What in the hell? The chat jumped on me. Did I block someone I wasn't supposed to? I hope not. Who did I feel like I might have accidentally blocked someone there? I don't know how that happened though, because I hadn't. StreamYard, you need to fix this shit. That's all I gotta say. Donald says, I haven't listened to Trudeau today. The same bullshit out of his mouth. No, this is a little serious today. He's invoked the Emergency Act. Now, he says they're not going to roll out the military, but what do you think's going to happen when they go and they start towing these people and doing the stuff that he's talking about? And he's talking about violating their rights, and then he tries to say, we're not violating their rights, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, Trudeau. Yes, you are. You go down there and try to stop a peaceful protest and force them to stand up. Either they stand up or they be oppressed. Well, hopefully they stand up. And then you're going to say, oh, well, we got to bring the military in because these people are fighting us. Well, they're fighting you because you're a freaking terrorist, you piece of shit, Trudeau. But yeah, this is really, really bad news. And shit's probably about to get real up there. Who's doing the Clunt special? Pine Island Research. Get it off me. I got it, Papa. I got it. Love you, man. Do you know anything about a big fit festival in the land between lakes? I can't find anything on it. I don't know anything about it. I've never attended one. You know, if they weren't all too far away, or I wasn't working, or I might have ended up at one by accident. But I don't feel a lot of drive to go to any of them. Because there's a lot of people that are just, again, it's just too many bullshit art. There's real people. There's people that are insincere, and then there's bullshit artists, and I don't know. It's hard to sort that out. People making presentations that they're either total bullshit, or they stole the material they're showing you, saying, "Oh, I did this." No, you stole that. Brian says about Pine Island Research is doing the special. Donald says time to make the trucks impossible to tow. Well, some of them are, because there's been people up there slashing their freaking tires. Which someone commented on that. He said, saying is, well, if you want us to leave, why are you cutting our tires so we can't leave? Just some people, man. Someone had mentioned it, because he said, but couldn't find any info except for past events. Yeah, I don't know. I've never considered going to a festival that far away. I was thinking about going to the Hanobi, but not this last one, but the one before. And I contacted someone, like, trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? It looks like it's not happening. And they said, yeah, it was canceled because of the what, I don't know what I should call it. They don't piss somebody off. The non-event, the 2020 fraud virus. Except for past event. Brian says, hey, Donald, hope all is well in the Green Mountain State. Donald says, like to know who's going to tow them. The private tow companies don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah. They had the option to refuse. And so now I'm not sure what exactly they'll do. I don't know if they'll confiscate their tow vehicles or what, but somehow they intend to make it happen by declaring this situation an emergency. But he's calling it a blockade, and it's not a blockade. Papa says, do you know how dangerous it is to slash a truck tire? I don't know. They said there's people up there cutting tires. Donald said, with emergency powers, they said they could commandeer the tow trucks. Tarot tuber Chrissy says, I refuse to go to Comic-Cons anymore because of that. They were already a little strange, but people have gotten so weird in that scene. Michael says, danger in more ways than one, Papa Craig. Might have to deal with the trucker, you mean? North Alabama Cryptid Series says, hello, I guess. Thumbs up. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. 100 PSI, boom. Maybe they're doing it to people like regular passenger cars and stuff. I'm sure somebody tried cutting a trucker tire, though. Might be in a hospital. They have no one trained to do the job. Yeah, it'll be a total clusterfuck. There's no way they're doing it. But you know what's gonna? I don't think they intend on doing it. I think they intend on pushing these people to Thomas Jefferson this shit. To fight. so they can justify bringing in the military. So look, we weren't going to bring in the military, but these people are fighting. Oh yeah, it's freedom, you dipshits. Listen to some of the arguments they were having, and the one side saying, "Oh, these people are doing these illegal acts." I kept saying, "This is illegal what they're doing." Oh, they ain't doing anything illegal, dipshits. They're just not doing what you want them to do. They're not working like slaves like you want them to. They're not dispersing their protests when you want them to. Then, of course, there were people arguing on the other sides, saying, no, this is bullshit and you're not listening to us. And and emergency powers in Canada, same as martial law. That's what I hear anyway. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's saying they're not going to roll out the military, but see, he knows damn good and well, like, even though he may, because that's what I think they're going to do, though. He's going to act like, look, we just had to declare an emergency so we could take these actions over here, which aren't military involved. We're not going to use the military. But by taking these actions over here, what he's going to do is force those people to fight. People are going to have to make a decision: do they stand up for their liberty or not? And then it's going to turn violent, and then he'll be able to throw the military into this, and then he'll have the justification that he thinks he thinks he's got, because he'll be able to say, look, they got violent. We had to do something. The cops couldn't handle it. The cops weren't even cooperating. A lot of the cops are refusing to do anything, and they are, because they know it's bullshit too. So yeah, it won't start out with the military, but let's see if it stays that way. If these people stand up for their rights and they fight, and they should, I think they should, it's a risky situation. How far is the government willing to go? Because if they start killing their citizens, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. They need to back the fuck down. It's all they gotta do. Stop violating people's rights, and everything will be fine. No more mandates. That's all they want. They want you to stop violating their rights. They're not telling you to do anything other than stop violating their rights. So, guys, but to see, I think they see this stuff. They know all this. They want there to be violence. I've been telling people this for years. The government is trying to manipulate the people into becoming violent. They're going to make it a situation where we feel like we have no recourse, and then they got what they want. They're going to act like, oh, we didn't want it to come to this. Bullshit. That's what they want. They want a civil war. War is always good for the government. And a lot of people suspect, as I do, that pretty much all wars these days are orchestrated by both governments involved. That they plan this whole goddamn thing. They both want to stay in power. They work together. They create this conflict. The people think, oh my God, we need our government to defend us against this asshole over here, and this asshole over here's got the same situation basically. And it seems like it's all planned out. Pearl Harbor, was that a real sneak attack? Did it even make any damn sense? Didn't make any damn sense. Why would they want to drag the United States into their war? Because up to that point, the United States, even though the government may have wanted into it, the people weren't in support of the idea of getting in the middle of that war. But once Pearl Harbor happened, everybody's like, America, we got to go get these assholes. They attacked us. Our government knows that. Japan knows that. Germany knew that. Italy knew that. Why would you want to drag someone else into the war like that? Why would you do that? They said, well, they had their excuses. Well, we were messing with their supplies. Well, interesting. Y'all tried to use that same thing to get some shit going on in Iran too, didn't you? Here a few years back. Oh, we're gonna do sanctions because we don't like what they're doing, and then I mean, luckily that shit didn't go the way they wanted, but it's a way they can make themselves look like they're coming out, smelling like roses. Well, we were just, we just did these sanctions. We weren't trying to get into a war. You were trying to get into a war. If our government wants to sanction somebody, it's because they're trying to start a fucking war with them. They just need to get the people behind it, at least a sizable portion of the population behind it. They're planning this, but what do we do? Do we not fight and then just let them violate our rights? Can we thwart this whole thing with them by just refusing to comply? I mean, they can come tow all the trucks they want, but if truckers and citizens just refuse to freaking do anything anymore, we just say, look, we're sitting down. We're not going to work. Your system works based on your slaves. That's us working. And we have to because we got to pay for shit on one hand, but if we can stick it out and strangle the source of their power, and that's just us working, making the dollars circle about. The spice must flow, right? They want this fight. They're trying to start a fight. He's no military yet, he says, but that's he knows that these people are going to be forced. They're going to be backed in the corner. They're going to have to defend their liberty or be subjugated. And some may back down, but some are going to fight. And then he's going to say, oh my gosh, we need to get some military involved because these guys are violent. They're horrible. They're terrorists now. Whereas the real terrorist is this asshole making this speech today. Chris says, I can't trust a man who uses a roll, brush, and blow dryer. Papa Craig says, I would use one happily, Christy, if I had hair. Papa says, well, I got to get some boys from school. I'll be back someday. All right, Papa. We'll see you later. Miss Space Cake's here. Hello, welcome. She says, them playing with our minds. Yeah, they sure are. Happy Valentine's Day, Miss Space Cake. Love you, says Michael. Yep, happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies. Donald says they took their fuel away, tried to take the food away, now making it out that they are not peaceful. This government is fucked. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all anyone has to do is watch any of a number of live streams. There's people on the street there live streaming. One of the live streams, I was watching a live stream today and it got cut. Now he was able to get restarted and, start a new stream, but they cut off the stream. I mean, I assume, like, why did the stream stop? Suspicious. I can't say anything for certain about that, but the stream did cut off. But he was able to start a new one. North Alabama says Lockbeard Civil War's been looming for a while. They just ain't struck the right chord yet. Yeah. A lot of people are still too comfortable to fight them. Lurking while you pick up your kids. Nikki's here. Welcome. Never comply will I ever, says Miss Space Cake. Comply never. Hello. Facebook servers are a clusterfuck. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't been on Facebook in a while. I don't like some people think I'm on there all the time. It's because my phone is like always logged into it, but I don't ever look at Facebook. And I guess my computer is too. I don't got Facebook opened on a tab anywhere, but if I open it up, it's already logged in. So anyway, but I never look at Facebook hardly ever, so it's fucking hate Facebook. Yeah, Facebook needs to freaking die. I used to think it was pretty great, like for getting, maintaining contact with people. Because, like, I've said before, I don't like talking on the phone. I know it's kind of funny. Here I am on YouTube now, but I've never liked talking on the phone. So Facebook was cool because it kind of allowed me to stay in contact with people that way. You know, so. But Facebook has just gotten like they censor too much stuff. You can't say what you want. They help the propaganda network do their thing for the government, like the media does. It's just so damn ridiculous. And then like people fucking with me, and just I don't know. There's just it sucks. I mean, Facebook did like allow me to reconnect to people that I hadn't talked to in years, so that was pretty cool. But man, I can't stand Facebook anymore. The truth is here says, just remember that the police that shake your hand are the same ones when ordered will toss you to the ground and arrest, like Windsor. Yep. Yeah. Although I did see some video today of a cop in uniform holding a sign in support of the protest. So they don't got all the police on their side. So, but they do have some. Bertha says, I have Facebook because I always kept my finger on the pulse of life. Yeah. I mean, it does. It did. Yeah, I understand, Ruthless. It's just, I also remember a time before cell phones and Facebook and the internet. I resisted getting cell phones for a while, and then one day I was issued two about the same time. My employer and my mother both gave me a cell phone. It's like, damn it, I ain't getting out of this shit, am I? Because all I see was a leash. Someone calls, they leave a message, at your house. But now, like I've had people say, "Why didn't you answer your phone?" It's like you're expected to answer your phone. I'm like, I don't like being expected to do shit. I like to do shit on my own terms. I don't know if people can tell. And maybe I don't want to return the damn call, for whatever reason. But most people that would be in communication with me very much, like they've gotten used to the way I am. Like my ringer's never on. If I'm at the gym, I don't have my phone on me because it's just hard to it's in my gym bag or in my locker or in the van or something. Stuff like that. I just don't always have it on me. I don't like. It's just something about it pisses me off. Ruthless says Facebook has always been a piece of shit. Same Lockbeard system space cake. Chrissy says, bah ha ha, our local cops will never turn against us. Definitely not my area. Yeah, there's a lot of areas are like that. Smaller towns, especially, I think, they went to high school with everybody there in a lot of cases, and they're about half related to people. North Alabama says, Ruthless, yeah, I know my wife gets her feelings hurt. I tell her to stay off Facebook. Yeah, Facebook's just a mess. Full may drive for the likes. Have to work tomorrow. All right, Miss Space Cake, we'll see you. I know it's like what is it, like 11 o'clock where you're at or something like that. But thanks for coming. We'll see you. Ruthless says it's a progressive thing. Starts out good, then gets into excess. Yeah. Chrissy says the only cops you saw enforcing stupid mandates were usually blue areas or isolated incidents. Yep. You know, it's just funny how they're acting like these people are these horrible people, but then BLM was like literally burning shit and looting shit. No, that kind of shit's not going on with this. I mean, the media, everyone, look, you media dipshits out there, if any of you are listening, we got your shit figured out. We know you're full of shit. We know you're propaganda for the criminal, the domestic terrorist government that we're occupied by right now. And that makes you part of it. That makes the media part of it. All criminals, all traitors, all need to go to jail. Some of them will say, "Well, I had no choice. I needed to keep my job." Okay. Well, when this shit goes south and people die, and you help that situation happen, it's going to be just like the Nazis. Oh, just following orders. I don't give a fuck. Just follow orders and go into your jail cell. You sold out Americans. That's what you did. Remember old cathode TVs? Yeah. Good night, Miss Space Cake. Rutha says, lucky phones are intrusive. They force communication. Yeah, yeah. Not to mention also being a tracking device and listening. It's not just tracking you, it's listening to you. Rutha says, my cell phone spends most of its time on a table, floor, or anywhere besides with me. Mostly just when I travel, I carry it. Yeah. Man, it has its place. If you have an emergency, it can be very, they're nice for that. You're on a road, you broke down. Used to, you broke down on a road out away from anybody. You had to wait until someone came along, or walk your ass a couple miles somewhere, go knock on a stranger's door. Christy says even bigger cities, they can't openly express their opinions, but trust me, 99% of cops will be the true patriots. I hope you're right. 99% feels a little optimistic to me, but at this point in my life, I kind of wish I'd kept kind of a log of all my interactions with cops, because I've had some pretty damn negative ones, but I've had cops that were very nice and just doing their job. And okay, 70%. Well, somewhere's in there. I mean, I definitely feel like the departments try to hire order followers. They try to hire guys that aren't too smart. They don't want someone in there that's going to think, maybe we shouldn't do this thing we're doing over here. This seems wrong. I tried applying for a dispatcher one time. I didn't get called back. I got an interview, but they didn't call me back. really wasn't that interested in it anyway. Chrissy says, I've had negative experiences as well, but when it comes to freedom, they will stand up. I hope so. Mr. Lee. What's up, man? Did you watch this guy talk earlier? This incredible douche nozzle on screen there. That one. That douche nozzle. Chrissy says that's when the Civil War will pop off, is when the local sheriffs refuse to follow orders. And in red areas, they will. Constitutional sheriffs, yeah. Yeah, we need those guys. I don't know how many of y'all remember Sheriff Arpaio. He was pretty famous there for a while. He's in Southwest, and I think it was Maricopa County, Arizona. And he didn't believe in running things the way they're typically run. So, like, he tried to turn the cable off in their prison, but he wasn't allowed to. They said, no, you have to provide the prisoners with cable. He said, all right, fine. Then I'll determine which channels they get. So I guess he was able to make it work where, he had to keep the cable on. They were making him keep the cable on for the prisoners, but he was able to limit them to 2 channels, I think it was. There may be more, but they only talked about 2. The Weather Channel and the Disney Channel. And they asked him, well, we kind of get the Disney Channel. Well, I don't know what they meant by that, but they said we kind of get the Disney Channel, but why did you let them have the Weather Channel? And he said, because I want these morons to know how hot it is when they're working on my chain gang. And they did an interview with him in the yard. Like, he's keeping these guys living in tents. These prisoners are living in tents out there. And he's there walking amongst them, and they're all behaving themselves. They're on camera. I think they respected him. And they asked him something along the lines of, well, what do you say when that the prisoners complain it's too hot out here? They're Arizona desert, living out in tents. And he says, tell them to shut up. Our soldiers are fighting in temperatures just as hot, carrying dozens of pounds of equipment on their back with bullets flying over their heads. You guys got it kind of easy. Don Fuller says to Michael, do you have an email address to any of the participants that I can send the audio to? I tried to send it to Nikki through Messenger, but it won't work. What, do you have some audio of the client? My favorite Ranga, Mr. Lee. Yeah, Mr. Lee and Ranga. Hold on a second. You can send it to Lockbeard at protonmail.com if you want. What are you sending me? Yeah, I mean, it's public. I got it. It's listed on on my about page and in the description of all my videos, and it's listed on top of the TV guide. But what do you Looks like I missed some stuff here. Ruther says I have no hair. No, sir, I don't. Sorry. Happy Valentine's Day. North Alabama Crypto says that one sheriff made all the men inmates wear pink uniforms. Yep, that's the guy. Yeah. Yeah, it's Lockbeard at protonmail.com. Donald. Oh, man. Let's see here. Chrissy says that's why they're weeding out the military post-insurrection. They know those will take a hard left when told to round up American civilians. Oh, Michael and Mr. Lee are Valentines. Nothing X-ray, just an audio from the woods. The pop plant audio. Nikki was here. I mean, maybe trying to think how I would send that to her through Messenger. Yeah, there's definitely a Clint on the screen there. I'll get rid of him. Goodbye, Mr. Clint. Let's see, I'll bring this other global news journalist Anita Krishna fired for speaking out. Get this pulled up. Trumpy Bear says, hello, everyone, and Captain Lockbeard. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Bam. Mr. Lee tells you happy Valentine's Day, Trumpy Bear. See if Donald sent that email. Don't see it yet. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. This is at least part of this. It's pretty interesting. Trumpy here to round us up, says Chrissy. Oh, he's probably not. He's probably not. So this lady has some pretty interesting things to say. Happy one to Mr. Lee. So let's check this out.
All you people here today, all of what you're seeing here, this is not going to happen tonight on the 6 o'clock news, is it? You will not see yourself. You will not see how patriotic and beautiful waving all the right flags that I can see, you will not see yourself on the news tonight. And do you know how I know that? It's because I directed the news for 20 fucking years over there. And we were good people. Back in the day, we were good people. None of the people that I worked with are assholes. They're not. They're hardworking people. They do an excellent job at putting TV on the air. I don't know what the hell happened though in 2020. Everything changed.
Yeah, $600 million.
Yeah. And I think that the people there don't know that. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe our bosses do. There's something going on. And the minute that I started to, I kept my mouth shut, right? For most of 2020, because if you ever spoke up, you got into trouble, right? But as soon as I started to speak up, that's when I got suspended. And the reason that I got suspended is because I went to the rally with Mel Boucher. And I wanted to find out something about those miscarriages. Are they happening or are they not happening? I have no idea. But why did a doctor get locked up for saying that there are miscarriages? Why is the news not even covering any of this? All right, open up my paper here.
Show me your papers!
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so, I don't know, let me get back to the doctor thing. It's just that when things like this happen, it is up to the news to report both sides. If we hear stories that miscarriages are happening, then we need to find that out. And we need to work together. You need to do both sides. And what I would have to say here is that I think the most misinformation that has ever been spread in the past 2 years has come from mainstream media. We have spread so much misinformation that my heart is broken. I'm heartbroken. Sorry. But, for what's going on with the truckers right now, the media is saying that people are throwing eggs. People are peeing on the street. People are harassing people. People are saying, oh, well, the shopkeepers aren't open. If you'd like to walk into one of those shops, you can do that quite freely right now. Nobody is stopping anybody. And you know what else people are saying? Doug Ford and Kennedy Stewart and John Morgan and all these people are saying, we've heard you. Go home. What the hell is that? We heard you, go home. When Gandhi went on a hunger strike back in the day, did someone say to him, here, have a sandwich? Here, have some naan bread. I can get away with that joke. I'm Indian. You don't ever disrespect protesters. That is our right to protest here. Yeah! And when I look at all of you people and I see what's going on, I am sick to death that the news won't cover this and that they're going to cover this in the shittiest way. It is just ridiculous. But what's that? Well, it is criminal because when we didn't tell you that there are medications that will save you if you get COVID, that is mainstream media misinformation. When we didn't tell you that whatever all this asymptomatic stuff is, what you need to do is get a doctor on and debate both sides, and the journalist would present a story, and then we let the public decide. So by us just telling you, oh, it's asymptomatic spread, you're gonna kill your grandma. No! Your grandma.
Yeah. There's more to it, but you can find that and listen to it all if you want. Yeah, Donald, I got it. So now, what do you want me to do with it? Because I don't even know how it would. I don't know how it would turn that into. Don't know how that would play that here. Maybe there's a way. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Play it. They have no interest in it. I'm just not sure how I can. Never tried to play audio on this. Let me see if I can figure out some way to do this. No, I mean, I'm using Brave, which is supposed to be kind of like Chrome. I'm not sure how do I bring it over in here? I don't know. I could try just playing it and see if you guys can hear it. That's the only thing I could think to do at the moment. Yeah, I just listened to it. Did you guys hear that? Rutha says Justin Trudeau just invoked special powers never used before. Yeah, that was that video we played at the beginning. Donald says click on it. It shouldn't move it to an audio file. Yeah, I got it in an audio file. I do have already. Yeah, Ruthless, that was that's what I played at the very beginning of the stream, was Trudeau announcing that. Was someone beating a donkey? Oh man. Yeah, I thought you were here. Thought you were here for that, Ruthless. Mr. Hughes says, "LO, Chrissy." Did y'all hear that sound? That was Donald's. That was Donald's Clunt calls. Not paying attention. Yeah, you were too busy trying to write whatever language you were trying to speak in. I thought it was 11-year-old girl, but I was trying to think who would like use the word meow in place of now. He's on the phone. Sounded like a crow to you. Yeah, there was different sounds in there. It was bobcats that were fighting. That was noises they were making after battle. Could you guys hear it very well? Well, I don't know, Ruthless. All I know is you said meow instead of now. You could be a cat. That's all I know. Here, I'll play that audio again. So did that come through worth a damn? Chris says it was clear, just wasn't sure what we were hearing. Mr. Lee says he heard a clunt. He heard it fine. Uncle Bone says, yes, Chrissy Ruthless was on the phone at start. It's from the Super Troopers. It's a play on words right now. Now, right, meow. Chris says, I've wondered on a couple occasions if Ruthless may be a cat, but I think he's safe. Yeah, sound like crows to you? He edited different sounds together. So they did. So let me get this right. The Clunt Foundation refused your audio of a Clunt. Miss Hughes says that is Michael Haywood. He does that sometimes. Oh, those sounds. Because you identify more as a cat than a biped. I see. Yeah, I'm sick of looking at Trudeau up on here. So, as many in the Cluntiverse are aware, Pine Island Research is having a special about this new reported cryptid called the Clunt. And for some reason, Valentine's Day is the day of choice. With host Jeff Harding and the Doc. Oh, Pat's using one of his other personas again. Rated M for mature. Legend of the Clunt Valentine special. Research into the legend of the Clunt and eyewitness reports. 8 p.m. Eastern. That would be 7 p.m. Central Time. And 1 a.m. for Mr. Lee. And whatever time it is on the other side of the globular earth for you Australians out there. Donald, thank you for sharing your Clunt audio. Yeah. Donald says they didn't refuse. I just wanted a link to the show so I could play it. Well, it sounds like valuable Clunt evidence. So maybe when you're in the chat, they'll drag you into this. Ruthless says dramatic acceleration. U.S. evacuates Kiev. Embassy destroys computer equipment. Why the fuck are we even over there in a lot of places that we're at? Like, why is it that we maintain a military base in countries that the war ended decades ago? Oh, here's another spam bot that needs to be swatted. Goodbye. Donald says Jeff would play like he didn't see my chat when I asked him for a link. Is there some reasoning behind that, or Chris said I just got dog tarot cards, ruthless. I need to get cat ones so I can read you. Mr. Lee says Mr. Pat looks good with a mustache. Ruthless says to Chrissy, hun, you can't read me. I'm not a book. People try to figure me out. Life doesn't work that way. No offense. Donald says, Jeff played like he didn't see my chat asking him for a link. I wonder why. I like your reading, says Mr. Hugh. Ruthless says, puppet governments need backup. Yep. Chrissy says, none taken. It's more of a way to process thoughts, situations, and tell the future, because the person being read applies the messages to their life and situations. Donald says, probably because me and Pat aren't best of friends. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's probably why I like with the Raptor, like I've said to him a number of times, man, just play it cool, because he gets banned. And, I mean, if he doesn't care about that particular channel, then I guess it doesn't matter. Like when I got banned from Bullshit Odyssey, well, by that time I was my give a shit about Bullshit Odyssey was all used up anyway. So it wasn't like it was a loss. I'm way better off not watching Bullshit Odyssey. And so I don't give a fuck if I'm banned from their chat. I'm not watching their show. But if I did, I would probably want to try not to piss them off, Like, so I mean, that's what I don't get. Like, Raptor cares. If Raptor wants to keep coming back to the chat and be heard, like, he would be better off because he knows how they act there, and just play it cool so that he can continue to voice his opinion. But the way he was doing it was a little bit over the top, though. He was pissing people off. So, I don't know. I mean, it's his business. His business. But he's going to get banned if he knows he's going to get banned if he does that over there. Chris says, thank you, Mr. Hugh. North Alabama Cryptid says to Chrissy, the only person that tried to read my palm ran away screaming and crying. I don't know what they saw. Well, did you have a dead spider in your hand? Maybe, some people can't handle spiders. Chrissy says, North Al, that sounds tragic. I've never tried palm reading before. You met me on Bigfoot Odyssey? Well, yeah, I met a number of people over there. So that's about the only good thing that happened from over there. But shit, I mean, how many people he sent the packing? North Alabama Cryptid says to Chrissy, The cards would probably go fine like the Ouija board did the first time I used it. Donald says, now that I got your email, I'll send you the screenshots of mine and Carrie's. Uh-oh. Well, this should be interesting. I've seen so many screenshots, you have no idea. And it sucks because some of them I can't like show people. They can be very enlightening. Some of these screenshots, but some of them I'm not. I can't show people. Chris says I don't do Ouija boards. Had one bad experience as a teen, and nope, no devil boards for me. I don't know that I've ever actually messed around with a Ouija board. Maybe I should. Maybe I should get one and do it right here live. See what happens. I predict not a damn thing, but who knows? Who knows? Got us another one of them spam bots. Let me just block that spam bot there. Ruthless says to Chrissy, card reading is based on projection of the reader, hun. It's like astrology. People allow others to align and rework a person's own inherent attributes based on wives' tales. Bots are at it tonight. Yeah. Go away, bots. Go away. Mr. Lee says I used to do Ouija boards all the time and got some good and bad experiences. Ruthless says no, Lucky, not worth the consequences. Well, I mean, people say that, but I just don't think. I just don't think there would be any consequences. Any spiritual entity shows up and tries to mess with me, I predict the spirit is going to run away screaming and crying. I just don't think because, nothing along this line has ever functioned for me. It's like these damn things. They don't do shit. I mean, I know Ken swears up and down they work. They don't do shit. They hang exactly where I tell them to go. You stay right there. I mean, they're just going to stay right where I hold them. I'm holding them loosely. If they try to move sideways, I can just kind of just make them stay. If there's something I'm supposed to push these damn things, they should just go. Right? They don't do shit. So either they're just bullshit, or all spirits are scared fuck of me. Magics. Chris says it'll be when you're wrapped up, settling you're down later, all comfy, and shit starts knocking on your van. Well, I hear some gunshots right now. I think the coyotes ought to be making a bunch of noise here in a little bit. I keep hearing about there's supposed to be some monkey sounds coming out of these woods. I've never heard them myself, but several others here have heard these sounds on multiple occasions, and I just, it's probably just a fucking coyote making weird sounds or something. Donald says, tried to get the lotto numbers off the Ouija board. They lied. I didn't win. Yeah. Well, even if something was talking to you, yeah, it could lie to you, you know. It could lie to you. Scratching on the roof and shit. Then you hear a ruthless whisper, Happy Valentine's Day in your ear. Oh, that's a whole different kind of nightmare right there. North Alabama Chris says, I didn't know you wasn't supposed to use it solo. It jumped out of my lap, flew across the room, and crashed into the wall. No, I think you misinterpreted what happened there. See, you weren't used to things being in your lap, or at least your penis wasn't. So your penis responded when you put the Ouija board in your lap, and it was fast, and it knocked the Ouija board across the room. But you were so spooked by it, you hardly realized what happened. And you lost wood just as fast as you got it. That's my theory. Ruthless says, people won't like this, but the weak-willed are approached. Yeah, some people say that. I am pretty goddamn stubborn. Christy says, never tried dowsing, but have been asking around since. And yes, a lot of people who work in plumbing swear by them. And they're really normal people. But see, how do I know that they don't subconsciously kind of know where the pipes are? And so subconsciously, they're actually guiding it. It isn't like something from the afterlife or the spiritual realm. It's just them. You know, they just, you know, which I guess that can be useful if you can't bring something to your consciousness, but it's still not. It's not, you know, it's not in the realm of the hocus pocus. I want some damn spirits to start telling me some shit, damn it. And yes, those lotto numbers would be very nice. Mr. Lee says, you have too much going on in your brain, Lockbeard, that's why. Well, yeah, people that say they can quiet their mind, I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? I mean, this is a real issue. Quiet your mind. Empty your mind. Dude, I cannot stop thinking. How the fuck do people actually stop thinking? Is that possible? North Alabama says, Lockbeard, I've seen people use those to witch for graves. Yeah, apparently, I mean, supposedly you can find anything with them. You know, it's not just about dousing for water. You know, you can find just about anything with them. Like over on Ken's channel, he said, like he misplaced something. He couldn't remember where he had it, so he got out his handy dandy dowsing rods, and they took him to it. But again, he was the one that misplaced it. It could just be floating around his subconscious, and he just needed something to make him focus a little bit. Donald says, I use dowsing rods to find water. Same thing with my apple branch. I find water. Here's my problem with people finding water, too. Underground, there's water everywhere. Like there's a water table. The ground below a certain depth is completely saturated with water. So, I mean, you could make these things cross anywhere, and you know you could dig and pretty much find water just anywhere, as long as you dig deep enough. I'm just finding it, you know, it's a little bit. I don't know, man. Rutha says gunshots salute in American. Yeah. Sasquatch wood knocking. No, those were definitely gunshots. Could be a family member shooting at something. I don't know how close it was. you can use dowsing rods to find oil. So, well, apparently they have. Apparently that has happened. That they have done it. Donald Fuller says, "I found the well we have now, 80 feet down, 10 gallons per minute." Yeah, but how do you know? Like, because you dig your well and you got your water and you're happy, right? Well, how do you know that if you didn't dig, 30 feet that way or 30 feet that way, that you wouldn't get the exact same result? Because the water is down there everywhere. You know what I mean? Of course, no one's going to dig 2-3 wells to do that, right? No one's going to test this shit out. And the government's never going to let me win a $500 million lottery so I could like test shit, like, because I would totally do that shit. They'd be like, "What's that crazy rich fuck doing today? He's digging 80 wells on this property to try and prove or disprove dowsing rods." Well, isn't it energy that guides them? Well, supposedly something like that. I mean, of course, the energy in the spiritual realm is all the same thing to field theorists, to metaphysicists. I mean, of course, most people here, y'all hear me mention Ken sometimes, but I really doubt the Bigfoot community is really interested in listening to Ken. It's a whole different subject. It's not, besides a lot of people that like this, like the spiritual stuff. I think that part of their interest in the spiritual realm is that it's kind of magical to them. And if you learn the science that explains what you call the spiritual, it kind of takes the magic out of your reality. I mean, to me, it's still like, in a way, it's fantastic. It's cool. It's very interesting. Like, I don't see the problem, but I don't care if it's real magic or not. Like movies, like what you see in the movies type of magic or in fairy tales. But as far as the science goes, it's a real thing. It's like Thor. It's like in the Thor movie. Remember when he was explaining to Jane, about science and magic? He's like, your ancestors called it magic. You call it science. I come from a place where they're both one and the same thing. Because you're a Capricorn. Well, if you say so. You can't empty your mind. How does one observe empty, for fuck's sake? Yeah, I remember, like, Ken's talked about that too. But maybe people like us can't perceive such things because we can't empty our minds. Maybe other humans can empty their minds with great ease. And it's just such a strange scenario that we can't even fathom that kind of existence. Or like, yeah, I don't know, man. Mr. Lee says you have to practice to empty your mind. Good for health too. North Alabama Cryptid says, Lockbeard, ha ha. My dad asked my wife why she loved me, and that's what she told him. Because of the. I'm not sure which part you're referring to. Ruthless says, yeah, but Uncle Kenny is an alien. We all know that. Oh, shit. Kenny's not an alien. He's just a brilliant mind. Sasquatch Wizard and Iron Deck says, good evening, Lockbeard, Ruthless, and Mr. Lee. What's up, man? Welcome. To RoadTuber, Chrissy says, your homework is to look into your birth chart. You can enter your birthday on websites, found out your rising and moon signs, read it, see if any applies. You'll be surprised. I don't know, Chrissy. I don't know. All those that stuff seems like I bet I could look at any sign and then convince myself that it applies to me somehow. You know, why is it that everyone always has to ask my sign? If they have some special insight, why don't they just already know my sign? You know, stuff like that makes me skeptical. Did the chat just like fly or what? What's going on with the chat over here? The government must be throttling back the internet, or I'm way behind. Maybe I'm just way behind. Ruthless says, how can it be empty? How can it be empty if you are in something as an observer? Yeah. Don says, yeah, but they help you find a viable source of water. Mr. Lee says, I'm going to make love to your woman, going to set your soul on fire. That is the chef from South Park. Yeah, that is. Nikki says, yes, there are people who do not have an inner dialogue. It amazes me. The dialogue, there's like a freaking thunderstorm. And then I can't focus on shit sometimes. It's like it's difficult. How like I wouldn't say it ain't like I'm hearing voices. It's just how I don't understand how a person can just empty their mind if that's a real thing. It just seems like there's no shut off switch. Mr. Lee says, Sasquatch, happy Valentine's Day. Mr. Lee, I've only seen you say happy Valentine's Day to guys up until this point. Finally, you said it to a girl, I think, unless I forgot one. Nikki. You got a show coming on, it especially for me. Yeah, I saw you got a live scheduled. Alabama, this Animal Planet shows lots of animals that find water underground in drought. Yeah, it's just. I mean, sometimes you can kind of smell, you can smell it. Or there's lots of visual clues, like a lot of times in the, subtle topographical, shapes, form can kind of tell you like, okay, there's the groundwater has got to be flowing to this point and down this area, because the surface kind of mimics what's going on underground sometimes. Not always, but a lot of the time. Mr. Lee watches Sexy Ken. Yeah, Ken needs people to tell him he's sexy, Mr. Lee. Boys are back in town. Papa's back. Did Nikki hear the audio? Learn from a farmer that you can use 2 PVC pipes, cut teeth in. Hold on a second. What the hell? Cut teeth in the bottom, run a hose down to the bottom to push the muck up, and attach a pole with weight on top and turn it into the ground. 2-inch PVC pipe, cut teeth in the bottom. Oh yeah. I've seen that. It's like a hand drill to drill for shallow wells. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, these things don't do shit. At least not for me. And I've made 2 different ones. I mean, these are, I don't know what thickness this copper is, but they're copper. And then there's these that are made from coat hangers, so you can see the differences in those in size. So this is pretty stout copper, and these are just a little probably a little different than what most people make. But I used for them to swing on. This is the plastic body of a pin, so I don't have to hold it loose. It's loose inside that. It's loose inside there. No, it's too dark, but again, shit don't do nothing. Show me where all the money's at. Where's all the money? See? Not a goddamn thing. I guess I'm gonna, cause you see people do it on. I don't know. I would have to test the shit out of this shit to see. You know, something. Nailed it. Johnny Bear says, my father was a plumber, but he would find water lines, but not just water. He could show up at a house he's never seen before in his life and find a water line with dowsing rods. What if, like, his subconscious is aware of things that maybe he's not being very conscious of, like there's a path through the yard that's slightly depressed from the rest of the yard, you know, real subtle, but that you can tell that there's something straight buried right there. You know that the water meter is over there and the house is over here, so you kind of got an idea where it's supposed to be then too. And you know, there's just so many possible explanations to my mind. Connection to the absolute. Papa says, Chrissy, I'll be lonely tonight. Nana has to stay with the twins while parents are out of town. If we're here long enough, science will prove how everything is connected. That's if they don't already know. I think the authorities already know. Ken already knows. Like he's over there. He's got like, what is it, like 8,000 videos now, and a lot of them are, you know, field theory, ether, physics, metaphysics, you know, explaining how everything is like, that's why he calls himself a monist. It's not that he's like a religious guy, but it's just it's you know, everything is one. Everything, you know, and that's, you know, just what it is. He's like, when people try to like he says, like, you know, people try to think of metaphysics and physics as these two different things, he said, but they're just different sides of one coin. There's just the one coin is one of the things he says a lot in regards to that. So the spiritual and the physical world are part of the one thing. But it's hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around. Years of brainwashing, no understanding of the how it functions or what it is. You know, so the Ken's over there trying to explain to people how reality actually works. And so he's got a lot of subscribers over there, so people are listening. Sounds like Sasquatch Wizard and Arndex likes what he's seen on Ken's channel. Glad you're liking it. Empty the mind takes hard work and concentration. The closest I've gotten was back in 2015, but I had to devote ridiculous amounts of time to it. Rutha says, yes, read what another states your attributes are with regard to their interpretations it's projecting. Hard to find that time. Ken's spot on. But look at all three. Usually says, yes, it takes practice and patience. We guessed you as Earth because your logical, rational side. Oh, you're talking about the signs? Yikes. And boom, you were the cardinal of Earth. I thought air, then maybe someone said Taurus. I was like, wait, I could see that because you're so damn grounded when you SD cap about died. What? Papa says, emptying your mind is easy. Turn one ear toward the ground and bang it on the other side with a palm of your hand. Rutha says, Uncle Kenny used the towel I gave him. It was a special moment in yesterday's stream at the end. Did he? Chris says, but that's why a sun, moon, and rising sign is a more complete picture, but it goes further than that. There's houses and planets, but it's so much I can't retain it all. Shirley says, I told him last night, Lockbeard, I said, you are way too sexy, Mr. Ken. Oh, that's good, Mr. Lee. Papa says, actually, I do know you have to give your mind something thoughtless to do, kind of like running a flag up and down the pole and bam. You seen that movie, There Will Be Blood? Good movie, man. I don't think I have, Mr. Lee. Damn good movie, says Brian. This is old vids. Ruthless says, yeah, his old vids show so much academitards trying to catch up. Yeah. I mean, you really do need to spend a lot of time trying to absorb stuff. I mean, you really are like rebuilding the universe in your mind. Chris says, you can't convince a skeptic. They have to see to believe. I understand. I'm the same way. It's hard for me to believe anything I don't experience firsthand. Well, I'm not 100% skeptic. Like I said, to me, the spiritual is a scientifically explainable phenomenon. So, it isn't that it's not there. It's just, and I just think that there's some reason why I don't seem to have any capability of interacting with anything spiritual, at least not that I recall experiencing anyway. Like I'm shut off, I've been spent so many years like, on that hardcore skeptical logical way of thinking that it's hard for me to break out. Like I'm still in a box. Because that training doesn't really allow you to even consider the spiritual, and it's just, I don't know, it's just kid at grade school, an incon officer handed a dowel rod to our teacher, and our teacher supposedly didn't know where the water was, and those rods worked over the water source. Who knows? Practicing demonstrating BS gets you good at administering BS. Look outside the fucking windows. So not to do it live. We had puppies today and haven't canceled yet. Oh, okay. Puppies. They're adorbs, sweet little babies. Nearly died with the black hole pick he predicted. Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if one day, people recognize, back in the day, we thought all this stupid shit. Einstein that, quantum this, but the whole time you had this dude for years named Ken Wheeler on YouTube who was trying to teach people the real explanation of the universe. And of course, he was referring to all these people from decades past who were on the right track as well, but mainstream society and science just ignored all of it for many years. Completely on the wrong track about shit. I mean, they're so bad on the wrong track. They're spilling billions of dollars on freaking particle colliders and shit. Like, we're going to discover the God particle by smashing some shit together, even though we don't actually know what that shit is. We think we do. We don't even know that we don't know. Like, it's multi-level stupid going on. Ruthless says you are a cat man, though, says Mr. Lee. Trumpy says in Ghostbusters they thought of white paper when not trying to think of anything. Of white paper? No, fucking Ray thought of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. What? I don't remember. Was someone saying white paper or something? Huh. Are you talking about the Abomination remake that was like an all women Ghostbusters, where they just totally completely fucked the whole thing up? Because I watched it, but I couldn't dedicate permanent storage for that goddamn movie. Terminators to make, not another's, my friend. Everything is scientific explainable if it's real. Spiritual things too. Yeah. Wizard says Kim Wheeler, like so many others, has discovered functionality and feels it proves away the existence of things we can't scientifically explain. For me, you gotta believe in something or you fall for ? Proves away the existence of things. But he proves the spiritual universe is, but the metaphysical. He proves that it is. It's just part of the reality. It's just that most people don't understand it. Mr. Lee says, "How come your brother saw a ghost, Lockbeard? Is he busy in the head like you or not?" I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have seen, a freaking pterosaur flying through the trees just now. No, just kidding. It was something. There was something. I couldn't tell exactly what it was. Maybe I have seen him. I just, just forget or don't notice him, or I don't know, Mr. Lee. I don't know. Chrissy says that's a thing, Trump bearer and a candle, but it's so hard to calm down an ADHD mind. Ruthless says 99% of an atom is empty, for fuck's sake. Or is it? White paper doesn't have much thought involved to inspect, says Papa. Chris says, if you're in Oklahoma, you have awesome resources in that area of spiritualism. You should find a shaman. Well, I don't know. I usually think of myself as my own shaman. I don't know. Tony Bear says, Chrissy, it didn't work for one of them. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man just popped in there. Many things are real that science can't explain yet. Yeah. Yeah, mainstream science anyway. If mainstream science would just go listen to Ken, they would actually find out that there's a bunch of shit that's real that they don't believe in, and he can explain it all for them if they would just listen. But they've built their entire system up. All the university curriculum is in place. You got, the university professor who didn't want to be bothered with changing the curriculum, it'd be too much of a pain in the ass. So he would rather just keep teaching the same bullshit. And then of course all these guys, they've built their careers on their theories. Even if they find out the theories are wrong, they're not going to be willing to admit it. They've written books. Their gravy train depends on their fantasy world. So if they have to admit that their interpretations of things are way off on some shit, they are in trouble. Like, people aren't going to trust them anymore. Like, well, you told us things were like this all these years, and now you're saying you were wrong. What else were you wrong about? So it's going to be hard getting them to change. Chrissy says, I remember Trumpy Bear and wonder if that's why it became a thing. Didn't know they made a remake of Ghostbusters. Couldn't have been too good if I've never heard of it. Well, what had happened was they made them all female, so they had like a somewhat like a female version of all the original ones. So you had you had one that was kind of supposed to be like the female version of Venkman and Egon and Ray, and it was who's that, the one that played Ray, the female version of Ray was Melissa McCarthy, I think her name is. And then the Ghostbusters had a black one, so they had to have a black one too. You know what I mean? It was absolutely laughable, and just was no comparison to the original Ghostbusters, though. No comparison. And then on top of that, they've made the original Ghostbuster actors, at least, like, were all three of the ones that are still alive in there? I can't remember. Play like a minor role in the damn movie. And I'm like, they probably didn't even want to do this. They probably forced all of them into it. I don't know. All I know is the movie was just crap. It was just crap. It was just virtue signaling bullshit out of Hollywood kind of bullshit. Just like, we're going to take a movie that's your standard, straight white male loved when he was a kid, and we're going to fuck it up somehow. We're going to change it and just jack with it. We're not going to write new movies and come up with new ideas. We're going to take all these other movies and we're going to redo them with just shittier. And then we're going to change, men and the women and white people and the black people. And we're do all that shit because we're trying to fuck with them in every which way we can. We wouldn't care, except we know you're trying to fuck with us. So that's what pisses us off. You're trying to fuck with us. That's why we're pissed off. Because I don't have to watch your new movies. Like, most of them I haven't. I pretty much stopped going to the movie theaters in 2019. I think I broke the boycott once for the new Bill and Ted movie. Once again, abysmal disappointment. They should have left it. They should have left it the fuck alone. They just should have left it alone. The second movie basically brought it to a really good, decent enough conclusion anyway. But they wanted to make a money grab and they wanted to fuck with us. And what they do, they gave them two daughters who acted like they did, only it just looked way dumber. And anyway, it's fucking Hollywood, man. It's gone complete shit to complete shit. I'm trying to think what's the harmless thing he could for the ladies. Dynamo, yeah. Valences. Papa Craig says the universe has a lot of things that we can see and are clueless as to what they are. Universe depends on their politics anymore, yeah. People hate to be wrong. No wonder I am someone opposite in such regards. Wizard says, it means no matter what any one person here on earth drums up in their head as to how it all works, why not just trust your conscience? Love the good Lord, live with the confidence within yourself. Christy says, there is a connection in our brains that lead out there. Can't even articulate what I'm trying to say, but we are connected and it's all frequency and energy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just think I got it just so heavily trained into my mind that wall in my mind is real solid. 20 plus years of being pretty much a hardcore atheist. Like it's so even though I know all the information I need to know that the metaphysical universe is there and I see evidence of it here and there. I'm my you know how I described it. Our mind is this as a house. um, I need it like a wrecking ball. Like I probably just need to go straight to the 5-MeO DMT and just dive into that shit and knock it down. And then once it happens, my mental block will be gone. Because I mean, intellectually, I know these things are real. It's just that wall is really strong. So I think it prevents me from seeing. To see how's Lara keeping. That GB remake, Ghostbusters remake was such shit, but expected. Yeah, Chrissy, I say the connection is in our hearts. Ruthless says, "Isn't there a remake of that remake?" Oh, the Ghostbusters. Well, they're doing like some kind. It looks to me like it's going to be a sequel, with like Egon's. Is it a grandchild or a child? Or an uncle or something like that. And they find the old Ghostbuster, you know, uh, uh, vehicle in the barn, and so it's like a new generation kind of thing. I don't know. I think they should just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Come up with a new story. Look, they can't seem to write fresh new shit. I mean, if you want to do a continuation, you need to get someone who's going to do right by it and not piss off the original fans, right? But because we're still around, but they're not interested in hearing that from me. They are trying to fuck it up on purpose. So whatever. She's good. Mr. Hugh doing her Reiki class tonight. Mr. Lee says they have a new Ghostbusters movie coming out soon, though. Yeah, I don't expect good things from it. I've seen some ads of It looks good. Matrix 4, what an inversion it became. Yeah, I guess I need to look more closely at like some breakdowns of the movie because I won't watch it. I won't go watch it unless it's like free somewhere online. I can just go, pirate it or something. Maybe to just analyze it. But most movies anymore I consume in the form of someone doing a breakdown of the movie, or spoiler reviews, and on a rare occasion I'll actually look at the script a little bit, but it's not worth it. It's not even hardly worth it anymore. I've kind of gotten tired of all that because it's like every movie is a disappointment. All of them, they fuck them all up. Heartbrainer, same thing to me. I understand what you're saying and agree. Matrix 4 was rubbish. Yeah. Didn't know there was a Matrix 4 rubbish, huh? Yeah. Yeah, again, they concluded the trilogy. It was good enough. Leave it alone, But no, they're gonna fuck shit up. Mr. Lee says, "I've been watching Ozark series on Netflix. Fucking good, man. People didn't get the allegory in 1999 with Matrix. Matrix 4 was a disappointment of a lifetime," says Chrissy. So I keep going by it, but now Ozarks. Rutha says that wall has kept a lot of Chinese whispers and crystal rubbing idiocy at bay. Lockbeard. As Ken calls them, white lighters. Mr. Lee says, "I told you, Lockbeard, your brain is busy. Busy. It makes sense as long as you are enjoying your life and you feel good towards others. It's all good. I mean, anyone could waste their life trying to figure it out. The prize is here." Chrissy says, "Go find a shaman. I'm sure they can fix you up with a nice little brew to open my pit." What if they release an evil entity? What if I contain myself for a reason? Chessboard says, "Hello, Lockbeard, Papa, everybody else, all missed. Welcome, Chessboard. What's up?" I was about to say DNT equals Wrecking Ball. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been interested in these things and trying to learn about them for decades with DMT and mushrooms and all that stuff. But actually doing it, is the whole freaking step. It's a whole freaking step. I don't know. I think I'm willing to do it at this point. It's just, won't be any going back kind of thing. Greatest stiff in the universe. Lulz at DMT. The chat is just so freaking spastic. All right, wish I could post a video here about pineal and DMT. Yeah, well, people should go check it out and try to learn, but just be careful because there's a lot of people with a bunch of just woo woo woo. So just focus on the science. Of course, you're not gonna you can't go to Ken's channel and talk about that because he don't want anything to do with that kind of stuff. He says if you wanted to reach that goal, you need to do it on your own without substances. I think Hollywood is smoking too much kush. You can smoke too much kush? Question mark, says Chrissy. Mr. Lee says, "I'm smoking kush right now." Rutha says, "Movie breakdowns for truthiness is so subjective based on the narrator." Yeah, I mean, you have to find someone that's just telling. You find the ones where they're breaking down. All right, this is what the movie no particular viewpoint. They're just telling you what's in the movie, and then you have those who are looking at it from a certain perspective too. So, I'm interested in those as well because a lot of times they'll spot something that I missed that was yeah, that shit was in there and that was fucked up. I just didn't notice it because I was distracted by all this other bullshit. They're real sneaky, Hollywood is. Where was I at? Happy Valentine's, all the ladies here, says Wizard. Fuller says, "I'm having a brain fart right now. What's the movie with Here's Johnny?" The Shining. Doesn't make you sleepy. Papa Craig says The Shining. Christy says there's the sleepy and peppy Papa. Depends on what you're wanting. It's your bedtime, Miss Lee. You're in a Lockbeard dream. What the hell? Oh, please, says Ruthless. Has there been a remake of The Shining? I don't know. Ruthless says virtually all DMT anecdotals are almost the same. Why? I suggest people read stuff beforehand, just like that trash from Dolores Cannon. Can't remember, Don. Maybe something I don't know. Oops. All caps, damn it. Yeah. Don't take drugs thinking it's an exit strategy. Maybe I need an exit strategy, though. Mr. Lee says, I'm focusing, Lockbeard. Look. Shit. Truthers love mover breakdowns. There's an industry in it. But now we have fentanyl Ruthless. You can get kicked clear off the planet with it. Now with what the hell are you saying here? Butte shit library? Oh, bitch! You talking about BitChute and Odyssey and all them? I'm going over the. I'm trying to get it all set up. There's just been a whole bunch of issues. Like I've spent all day for the last few days trying to get shit sorted out with those, with Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute, and still got a long way to go getting it all fixed up right. But syncing up hasn't been as easy as one would hope for. We've got to kill another bot here. It's a cheater's way. I can somewhat agree with that. It is possible to produce your own DMT, but it's an absolute bitch, and most people don't have the time. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime I try to concentrate on anything, like if I don't have something keeping my focus on it, like I end up going off over somewhere the fuck over there, and then my mind just goes different places, and so I don't know how. Like this, I mean, I got this keeping me focused on this. People, responding to people. Fentanyl, ketamine, same time. Stanley Kubrick, one of your favorite movie directors. Ruthless says, yep, all those platforms. Papa says, geez, Ruthless, that'll do it. I'm so glad it didn't. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. A Clockwork Orange, and what else, Mr. Lee? Ruthless says, Papa, I already know what to expect, mate. I've been into the ether, but not by choice. Fancy a bit of in and out, misters. What? What's that all about? So let me see here. About 23 minutes until Pine Island Research comes on, so we definitely want to get ready to wrap up for that. And for something else I was going to throw up on screen, but I can't remember what it was. What was it? Did Ruthless have a near-death experience? Did you, Ruthless? What did you see if you did? No, Miss Shirley, I haven't. More than once, yes, I was hit by a car years ago. Well, that sucks. That couldn't have been cool at all. Mama's got a squeeze box, Mr. Lee, says Papa. Chrissy says, damn, you gotta tell us about it one day. You didn't see? Of course not. You didn't have eyes anymore. Because there's not vision as we understand. You perceived. Pull up Long Island Bigfoot's picture post from this morning. Looks like a bear, but then below looks like a face. Well, there's a problem with there's a problem there. I have evidence of at least a couple of occasions where Long Island Bigfoot stole other people's material. So I don't really feel, I'm not putting anything on screen that he's claiming is his or whatever, unless it's the stuff that I got. Like I got screenshots and stuff all set up. But some of it I can't share with you, and I don't really feel comfortable saying why. But some of it I can. But it's just not. It's not a whole lot of stuff. But if someone lies a couple times, they probably lied a lot more. So it's enough for me that I don't trust him. Plus, I had a bad sense about him from the very beginning. He seemed like a shyster. He seemed like a bullshit artist. Now, some of you guys out there like this guy. Hey, it's your business. I didn't have a good vibe off of him, and now that I know that he has stolen other people's shit, I don't want anything to do with him. Sorry. Century past our own five senses. Yeah. Two perspective grid, portal back to the body. Ouch, that's not good. No, it's not, dude. And fuck, I mean, you guys know I, call out, people for bullshit on here, and I just wanted to try, and because it's hard, because what he does is pretty fucking slick. But if I showed you what I have, you would not be able to deny what he did, and that was definitely dishonest and theft, and I don't trust him. Mr. Lee says, I would like to hear about that funny business, Lockbeard. Well, probably one of these days. It's just that I can only really show you the one instance. And I'm not really prepared to do that right now, but and and of course you guys would have to trust, because a lot of people seem to like him, so that means they aren't feeling the same way I felt about him, that he was a bullshit artist. Like, this guy's full of shit, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about this mind speak stuff on top of that. It just adds to it. And I know that he stole shit. He's had me blocked. Like, if you see me and him in chat, he can't see what I'm saying, and I can't see what he's saying. He's got me blocked. He's had me blocked for a very long time. He wants to look, when you're someone that's you got someone that you know is on to you, and you want to distance yourself from him. You try your best. That's what he's doing. He's trying to distance himself from me. The only way he has in his power. I guess he didn't expect me to not, just go away. And the day I show the stuff what little I have that I can prove, as far as the theft, of course, people aren't going to listen. When a lot of the shit, people don't listen. They still, oh, I met him. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, but like I told you, when Satan comes to fuck with you, is he gonna come like like an asshole, or is he gonna come and say, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Satan. How's is everything going all right with you? What can I do for you?" Satan's gonna be nice to you. He's gonna try to ingratiate himself to you if you believe in Satan. I'm just saying. It's just trying to illustrate that it's looking like liberation proper. Papa says over at this. I had to stop barking. I had a heart attack. I had to stop barking. I had a heart attack in 2001. Got a glimpse of the other side. Did you consciously choose to come back with us? Had to stop the dogs barking. Papa says, sounds like you were on your way to in between, and none of us will truly know until the in between. Wizard says, it's totally cool. Did he post footage and verbally claim it was his, or did he post a picture of someone else's for them? What he did was he took a snapshot out of someone else's videos. And then it looks like the light, the brightness may have been fiddled with a little bit and stuff like that. But when you see, if you ever see what I put together, I mean, you look at it side by side, and you're like, you can't fucking deny it. And what really suck is, he because he got called out on one of them, and it seems like I guess hardly anyone knows about it. Like, he was called out in the comments below the video and everything, and I got screenshots of that. Anyway, so I don't know, I mean, if I'll show it at some point. It's just that I can only show the one incident. It's like with this other case where, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, well, that's nothing." I'm like, no, that's dishonesty. So if you're going to trust these people acting like they're, giving you the scoop on Bigfoot, and this one channel, it's a pretty well thought of channel, and people love this channel and think pretty highly of them, but they help the liar cover up a lie about thieving other people's material. It's there's why in the fuck are people stealing other people's just go look. It don't even show anything half the time. It don't even show anything. There's nothing you can. At best, you got a picture of pareidolia, and they're stealing that shit. Keep saying though. Papa Crick says, my grandmother put her hand to my face, pushed me back, and said, "You're falling off." Chrissy said, my dad had several. He died probably 8 times before the last and final time. He said he always chose to stay. I honestly believe the last time he chose to go, and 100% believe he came and whispered. So stuff Gypsy Road to play on his podcast the other day. It was footage from Rick Dyer's shooting Bigfoot documentary. I'm going to go now. Then my phone rang. Huh. Ruth says, Chrissy, there's no choice in such regard. We either retreat from this meat sack or go back into the rinse, or we don't. and got the news. Ruthless like reincarnation. These meat suits only die at once. The damn chat is just really, really squirrely. There we are. Look at Dad. This Chrissy had a lot of people come by and say farewell. Ruthless says to Chrissy, well, we don't just die and instantaneously re-emerge as another emanation body. There's a process. Clinically dead isn't dead. Yeah. Ruthless, that's truly what I believe. I think the Bible, Jesus alludes to that as well, but the church denies and hides that for means of control. Dead is dead, not coming back via the vessel because it cannot modulate proper signal. Yeah. I meant my dad was clinically dead 8 times prior to his passing, many heart attacks. Still here with us. Don't have headphones on those, so no funny business. Well, the only funny business is we're getting ready to shut her down, Mr. Lee. Tarot tuber Chrissy, the Christ was the path, never a man. No offense to the believers. Really, damn, I try to support both those fellas with better ways to present themselves and their work. They seem to be getting better, but who knows? People are deceitful. Who are you talking about? Gosh, the other day it was footage from Rick Dyer shooting. Oh, the Rick Dyer thing. Chessboard, are you part of the Clunch show tonight? Asked Donald. So many similarities in Christianity, Buddhism, but Buddhism is a way of life versus dogma. Yes, Chessboard, I'm blessed. I have had 8 heart attacks. Damn. That's a lot of heart misbehaving. Original to shit, or the shit people believe in Buddhism, no offense. Yeah, Ruthless is probably referring a little bit to Ken. Ken is probably the foremost. I mean, he makes no bones about saying it himself about original Buddhism. Christianity is a way of life. Churches are dogma. Downfall depends on what is thrown my way. Yes, Papa, you're right. Sasquatch Wizard and Donald says the wizard. I told Eric to email me first on anything that people send him. I don't think he cares. And when I say Christians in a negative way, I mean the hypocrites in churches, not true believers. Gotcha, Chrissy. Donald says, can I send you the audio Lockbeard played at Chessboard? Or are you asking Chessboard if you can send it to him? Wizard says, that's such a bummer to hear this, but the truth doesn't lie, and it's a shame some good people get greedy for fame. Yeah. Yeah. Chessboard says, Papa, oh well, to make it through NAM and 8 heart attacks, you are truly blessed. My model is live every second as if it were your last. We know not what the next second brings. Ruthless says, if Uncle Kenny can nail his field theory the way he does, then what are the chances he's nailing Buddhism, the original teaching and practices? Yeah, see what I'm saying? Well, they're connected. They're, they just are. You're talking about LIB? Yeah, I kind of figured. Papa Craig says, I had the doctors in University of Washington work in my heart for 7.5 hours last year. They cleared out RCA and LAD with a laser and a grinder. After healing, I'm much better. Who's this Ken guy? His name's Ken Wheeler. His channel is called Theoria Apophysis. You know what? I'll go ahead and post it here real quick, or post the link to it. And it's not for everybody. You know, a lot of people aren't. They're going to look at this guy and it's like, who's this fat, bald, tattooed? But really, he's extremely intelligent guy who knows shit that most people can't even begin to wrap their minds around. And we're all very lucky that he's out there trying to teach people this shit. Like years ago, I was like, look, I see this problem and that problem and this problem. I'm like, and no one seems to fucking know shit. You know, any university professor you talk to, any book you read, any documentary you look at, they all are like, I'm like, no, you guys got some shit wrong. You guys got some shit fucking wrong. You're misinterpreting some bullshit. And then one day I run across Ken Wheeler. And I was like, all right, this guy is talking some fucking sense. He's actually interpreting a lot of shit correctly and coming to what appear to be the proper conclusions. So that's that link I just put in chat. So if anybody wants to check them out, you're gonna have to sort through videos that aren't about field theory, or Buddhism or photography or leatherworking, or he's into a lot of different stuff. Papa sounds like he has a heart better than Farlat. They can only have right now. What music you like, Lockbeard? Oh, anything from like modern stuff, rock and roll, but classical and Celtic music and stuff like that. Help now. He'll be a heavy metal guy. Depends on. Some of that shit's just ridiculous. Depends on how heavy it gets. Some of it just gets ridiculous. Just growling at the microphone and trying to fucking destroy the drum set where it's not even music anymore sometimes. Some of those guys just go way too far. Alien, All Wars, or Banker Wars. Now I just got to get this extra weight off from laying around, says Papa. Is Ken on YouTube? Yeah, I posted his link. Well, right below that comment you just made. So if you want to look at it, that you can. It's going to take time. There's probably a lot of concepts that you never even like magnetism. Most people never did ask, well, what is this shit really? Like, they know what a magnet is and they know kind of what it does, but they never really considered, like, okay, this is like magic, really. Like, this fucking thing isn't touching this other fucking thing, but it's affecting it, But then, like I showed with this magnet the other day, how the piece of metal will not, the magnet will not let the metal touch it. It'll want to pull it over to this part or that part. There's a reason for that, and Ken explains all that. Most people haven't played with a strong magnet, though. They played with just typical weak-ass magnets. Worse than having for banking. Well, maybe, for all we know, baking happened, like, maybe it was the first thing humans invented. And there's just no records. They shredded all the records, Ruthless. I didn't send nobody nothing. Gypsy pulled that video from my channel on his own, and someone sent me that stuff. How about not running your big mouth when you don't know? Sup? Holy shit. Grace Racing Horse. Essentially grew a cult, turned extensionist atheist. Been a wild ride. Grew up in a cult. All right, you guys. They're all on about magnetism, free energy now. It's hilarious. Existentialists. Evening chessboard. Prairie Fire. I was just getting ready to shut her down. We're all gonna. Well, a lot of these people are going over to Pine Island Research to see the Valentine's Day Clunt special. Even in the cosmos so long. You could hear Danny. I hope the same for LAB. It would break my heart to find dishonesty among either of you. Yeah, I hate to do it to y'all too, but I mean, have a great night. Ruthless says. Here is the. Looks like their chat is already pumping. Let me grab the link and throw it in our chat. Bam. And so, yeah, thank y'all for coming. And I'll see a lot of you over at Pine Island Research in a few minutes.